Hi, welcome to this app creation course lesson 1. Our first tutorial will introduce you to Xcode and 3 user interface objects: label, button, and segmented control. I am Jonathan Chua, and through this course you will learn the basics of app creation. So let's begin. First we'll go to Xcode and we'll create a new Xcode project. We will be creating an iOS app, so we will be choosing that option. Okay, product name, we will call it L1 Hello World. If you have a developer account, you can log in. It's free, and if you log in, you will be able to push your app to your iPhone. Organization identifier, just put in your name. Interface, we will be using storyboard. Language, make sure it's Swift. Uncheck core data and test. I'm going to save this on my desktop. Please save it on your work folder, and uncheck Git repository on my Mac because we don't need this. Xcode has a navigator on this side. On the left is a navigator, so this is where we navigate to the different files. So main.storyboard is where we will design our UI. ViewController.swift is where we will key in the code. And at the center, right at the center is the editor. On the right is the inspector. So we will be using the main.storyboard. Now, if you want to change the font size, you may want to use this. So the device I'm using is iPhone 11. You should choose, if you have an iPhone and you have the latest phone, then you can choose your phone model so that you can push it to your phone. So the next thing is, after you've chosen the right storyboard, you should change the simulator to the same as your storyboard. Okay, so when I click on the storyboard, it will show up in this inspector. So this is called the attribute inspector, and this is where we can change the background. If I want to change the background, I can come to here and choose the colors for the background from here. Okay, we are going to start adding the label. Okay, and the label, I'm going to increase the font size to 36. Going to start with Hello World. And use the handles to adjust the size of this label. You can also use the size inspector. So I'm going to increase the size from the size inspector. Then I'm going to change the background to system red color. Okay, so label is done. Next, we'll add in a button. You can also change the text of the button by double clicking on it. Okay, so now we have a button called change text and a label called hello world. So we are going to start to code it. So I'm going to hide this. So this is how we hide the inspector, and this is how we hide the navigator. For the document outline, this is the button to click to hide it. So I'm going to go to here and I'm going to open up the assistant. So go to editor and click on assistant. Okay, so this assistant is actually the view controller. This view controller.swift file. So here we are going to first put in two comments. They are headers, outlets, and actions. Okay, when we create our UI, we will have outlets and actions. What is outlets? Outlets are object that you are going to change. Okay, you are going to change some of the properties of the object, then you need to declare it as outlet. Or if you are going to take reference for it, you are going to use you need to declare it as an outlet. So how do we declare it as an outlet? First, we will hold control and we will click and right click and drag it over. So you will see that there is this line. We will insert it right under the outlets header. So we let go and you will show this. So we are going to call our label message. Okay, type is UI label, user interface label. Storage is weak, which means that if we do not need it, the storage will be deallocated. So I'm going to connect. Okay, so the label has been connected as an outlet. Next, the button. When we click the button change text, we want the text to change. So we need to declare this as an action. So I'm going to drag it over here, let go. Now the connection is an outlet, so we need to change it to action. And for this action is called on tap change text. Okay, and we are going to connect it. The event is, there are different type of event. Touch up inside will mean that if you touch the button and lift up your finger inside the button, it is considered a trigger for the event. So we're going to connect this. Done. Now, so when we tap on the button, we want it to call the label message. So we're going to type out. So Xcode will actually help you to auto-complete it. So label message, this is what we want. So this is the same name as the variable that we use for the outlet. So label message dot. Okay, so we are going to change the text in the label. So we will look through this menu. Okay, once you put a dot, it will actually pop up a menu for you. So label change text dot label message dot text. So the text that the label displays. So this is how we can change the label text. So label message dot text equal to app development. Okay, run it. Okay, when I tap on change text, you will change the text to app development. Okay, so but now it doesn't change back, so we need to program it such that when you click on change text, it will change back. So we are going to first we are going to delete this. Okay, or you can cut it. Next, so in order for it to change back, we need to use the conditional statement. So if, and from these we choose if else statement. Okay, so if label message dot text is equivalent to hello world, then we will change the text to app development, or else we will change it back to hello world. Okay, so now when I click, it will change. Next, so we are going to add in another text. So we are going to add in another message. So we are going to say or else. I'm going to copy this. Or else, if label message dot text is app development, we are going to change it to another message. So I guess so I think we will choose, I'm going to copy this first, and else this. So for this, instead of hello world, we are going to change it to SST ICT department. Okay, so first is hello world. After that, it will change to, from hello world, if it's hello world, it will change to app development. If it's app development, it will change to SST ICT department, or else it will change back to hello world. So we're going to run this. Okay, hello world, app development, SST ICT department, and then hello world back again. Okay, so this is how we can change the text. Next, we are going to change the colors of this label. So we are going to change it to label message dot. Now I'm going to look through, or you can type out if you know. So what I'm looking for is a background color. So background color. So label message, we are going to call for the background color, and the background color actually accept this thing called UI color. So later, if I want to declare the color, I need to use UI color. So background color, label message dot background color is equal to UI color dot green. Okay, so this will change the label to green color. Next, going to just copy this, blue, then we're going to change it back to red. Okay, so I'm going to run this. So it's red now, green, blue. Okay, so we can change the color when we click the button. Next, so you can see that actually the green is the contrast is no good. So we are going to change the text color. So how to change the text color? We are going to type in label message dot text color. There, text color equal to, so this will be UI color dot black. Okay, we use black for it. and for blue I will change it back to white. So copy this, dot white. Okay, so I'm going to run it. So hello world, app development, and SSDICT department. Okay, so now the colors, the banners is done. Okay, next we are going to draw a border around the button. So if we are going to change the properties of the button, we're going to draw a border. We need to declare this as a outlet. So we are going to drag it over, and we're going to call this button change text. Okay, next we are going to, if you want to draw on it, you can't use the inspector to change the properties. You can't, there's no option for you to draw a border around the button. So how can we draw it? We can draw it after setting up the view. So after it sets up, after it has load the view with the button, then we draw it here. So it's like a setup. So this additional setup. So we're going to start button change text dot. Now the button, we can't draw on the button itself, so we can only draw on the core animation layer. So dot layer, then you will we can only draw it on the core animation layer. So we need to say button change text dot layer dot border width. So we will give you a border of 5 or maybe 2. Okay, and let's run it. So after view loads, you will draw a border around the button. Next, if we want to round the button, okay, we want to round the button border, we'll say button change text dot layer dot corner radius. The radius to use when drawing rounded corners for the layers background. So corner radius equal to 15. Okay, so all done. Next, we are going to change the color of the button border. So button change text dot layer dot border color. Take note that the border color is not UI color. What it needs is a CG color, core graphic color. So we will need to convert the UI color, okay, this UI color, okay, for the background color and text color it uses the UI color, but for the border it uses the core graphic color. So we will need to convert it. So border color equal to UI color dot red, we use red, okay, and it will give you an error. Okay, so we need to convert this to the CG color. So you're gonna say dot and there CG color. Okay, done. So I'm gonna run it. Okay, so now it has the red border. Okay, next, so this part is done. Next we want to add in a segmented control. which will toggle the border for the button. So we are going to go to view controller, and then after that you click on the plus, add in a segmented control. Okay, next. Segments. So you can actually add in more segments if you want. So I can put in 4. Then we create 4 segments. Okay, or we can I'm going to leave it at 2. Okay, and how to change the name of the segments? The 2 segments are here, so we can change the name here. So I'm going to call it border off, and segment 1 I'm going to call it border on. Okay, so the size I'm going to just change from here. Okay, I'll just leave it at 250 and drag it to the center. Okay, so this is the segmented control. Next, we have to declare this segmented control as a outlet too, because when you tap on the segmented control, we need to know whether is it segment 1 or segment 0. So we need to declare it. So we're going to drag it over. Okay, so these will be called segmented control button border. Okay, and we will declare action. Okay, so this action we will call it a toggle button border. Okay, so when you tap the time, they will detect there's a value change. It will trigger this action. Then we need to use a if-else statement. So if segmented control border button border dot, okay, from here you will be able to find, or you can type out SE, okay, selected segment index. So when whichever segment we choose, it will return the number integer. So if selected segment index is equivalent to equivalent to 1. Okay, that means the segment is border on. Then what we are going to do is we are going to cut this and paste it in here. Okay, else we will switch off the border, which is to reduce the border width to 0. So just copy and paste it in here. Okay, we are going to run this. So the button works, border on, border off. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, this is the end of the lesson 1.